Hi everybody and welcome back for week number 16 of Introduction to Sports Medicine. This is Dr. Hardy's coming to you one more time here for our overview of this week. Alright, we are on week number 16, so that means we have this week and next week left to go. So a couple of things I want to get on your radar right now. First of all, course evaluations are now open. I would highly encourage each of you to take just a couple minutes, fill out an evaluation. I take that information to heart and try to improve this course for future iterations, so I'd really appreciate if you can take just a couple moments, fill that out for me so we can make this class even better for moving forward. The other thing is I want you to be paying attention to the fact that next week, being the final week of the semester, is going to be a shortened week. You're going to have a final examination due by Friday of next week. Get that on your radar. Friday is the last day of the semester. So you have until 11:59 on Friday to get that assignment, that final exam completed. If you don't have it submitted by 11:59 on Friday, you will receive a 0 as your grade on that. So please make sure you get that turned in on time. All right, let's look at this week. So this week we're talking about the thorax and abdomen. So we're getting close to finishing up all of these body parts now. So we are talking about the abdomen as getting to the end of the body parts here. So we're going to have our quiz this week, just as always, over chapter 21. And let's take a look at the discussion together. I'm just going to click on this. And we're going to talk about how do you manage an athlete who has had his or her wind knocked out of them. Now, what I want you to realize is what's going on when somebody gets the wind knocked out of them. So it's actually a nervous reaction. What has happened, and hopefully you saw in the thumbnail for this video, is we're talking about the solar plexus, which is this great big conglomeration of nerves that sits in the abdomen and controls a lot of your bodily function coming through that nerve plexus. So what happens is you get hit in that stomach, that abdomen area, and it compresses on the solar plexus. This is very similar to how those stinger or burner injuries that we talked about just a couple weeks ago in the shoulder, how those affected you with having that numbness and tingling down your arm. Same thing happens, except you can't respirate because it freezes your diaphragm in place. It's actually the vagus nerve coming down. It's one of your 12 cranial nerves. We're not going to get into details on that. But that nerve gets basically a stinger in your abdomen, and all of a sudden you can't respirate. Now, just like when you get that stinger or burner, it kind of self-resolves. So, biggest things you can do with an athlete who had the wind knocked out of them is keep them calm. Help them get past it. Make sure that they come out breathing on the other side of those things. Obviously, you want to monitor them during that situation because this can become an emergency situation if somebody can't get back to normal respiration. I have never seen this not get back to normal respiration after a shot to the solar plexus that got the wind knocked out of somebody. So that's really the long and short of it. All right, I'm not going to go on too long. Give you a little bit of time back to yourselves here, but that's really the key of what we're talking about in this discussion forum. Just a reminder on the couple of things for this week. Please fill out those course evaluations and start working forward on that final examination. If you get your final exams submitted early, I will try to grade those early so you can get a look at your final grade before it gets submitted. If you have questions on any of this, please don't hesitate to reach out sooner rather than later, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I wish you nothing but the best luck this week, and we will see you again next week for our final week of the semester. All right, take care, everyone.